Hi guys, good morning and welcome to my knitting podcast. My name is Mandy and you can find me on the internet as Mandy Von Knits on Instagram and Ravelry. Okay, happy winter guys. I don't know how the weather is where you guys are, but it is cold and snowing. If you are affected by the California wildfires, I hope that you keep safe. My thoughts and prayers are with you, and I am really hoping that they get that situation under control as soon as possible. I just wanted to get that out of the way before I mention anything else. With that said, I hope that you guys are doing well. It is very cold here in southeastern Michigan. We have had our first pretty noticeable snowfall of the year. So we've got like this much. So it started snowing on Friday and it's Saturday now and it stopped, but it's still very cold. We've had like biting cold all week and it has not been very kind with my back. But with all of that said, you're not here to talk about the weather, so let's carry on and talk about some knitting and maybe crocheting. Not crocheting as in I'm crocheting, but I've got some crochet patterns to share with you. My daughter, her birthday is coming up very quickly here, sometime in the next couple of weeks, and she has requested an amigurumi. So I have a pattern to show you that she specifically wants. So we're gonna talk about that. But with all of that said, let's get on to a pattern prize giveaway. So if you are new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. We give away a digital pattern prize once a week, and the way that you enter is you just leave a comment down below and then come back the next week and see if you win. I use a random comment picker, and the only rules are that the pattern prize has to be $15 USD or under, and you can only win once a month just to kind of make it fair to everybody. So let's go ahead and insert the pattern winner here. Okay, if that was you, please reach out to me on either Instagram or Ravelry as Mandy Von Knits. Let me know what pattern prize that you want, and I will gift that out to you. So, speaking of the pattern prizes, I've been thinking a lot about them, and I'm kind of thinking it would be really cool to track. I know that I will go back and tell you guys what prizes people are picking, but I really want to kind of make like a chart and see what designers are most popular, what type of item you guys are interested in most. So like sweaters, scarves, whatever, it doesn't matter, but I just think that that's so cool. And the reason I thought about this is because I was looking at the prizes that people have picked, and I noticed that a lot of you guys have picked Tanis Lavallee, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I mean, just to see like, hey, this designer is most popular, or this designer had 3 different people pick a prize from them. I don't know. I think it's the geek in me kind of just spiraling with the whole data stuff. So let me know if that sounds interesting to you. I at least want to do it for my knowledge, just because I learn a whole bunch from you guys. Reading the comments, looking at the prizes that you pick, I've learned about so many really cool designers and so many awesome patterns. I don't want to forget any of them. So, okay, anyways, I am wearing the Voyage by Woolen Pine. Now, I made this past year, and I'm pretty sure I made it, I don't even know, was it fall or summer? Can you guys help? I have no clue. One of those days. I'm pretty sure it was fall. I'm pretty sure I made this in the fall. But anyways, it doesn't matter. This was my first steeked sweater, and I used some superwash yarn, from some previous yarn advents and some mini skeins, and then I used Blackbird Sycamore yarn for the main color here. I enjoyed knitting this pattern so much that I want to take this pattern and kind of modify it to do the color work like they do in the sea glass. If you are not familiar with the sea glass, I'll throw up a picture right up there. It's just 1-by-1 color work where you're constantly changing the colors. I think that that would be a really good way to make a cardigan like the sea glass without having to worry about weaving in ends. Because once I did the steeking process, I was enthralled, infatuated. I loved it. It was so much better than having to worry about ends. So if you are on the kind of on the line about whether or not you should try steeking, I definitely recommend it. I did not regret it, not even one bit. So I used crochet reinforcement, and then I went ahead and I reinforced that with hand stitching. So if I was able to kind of use a sewing machine, I'm paralyzed, so the only sewing machine that I have has a pedal back from whenever I could use it, so I don't have access to a different one. So I just ended up reinforcing with hand stitching, and that seemed to work out really well to me. I am going to be, when I do the sea glass, I will once again, this is superwash, I will also use superwash with the sea glass. My intention though is to look at steeking with some of the more rustic yarns that I have as well, and that should be coming in hopefully the near future. But I have a finished object, and I've been talking about this a little bit. This is the Friend to Friend, and this is kind of like a shoulder warmer, a shrug, a capelet. Actually, I think capelet fits it the best. But let me talk to you about what I think about this. So, okay, that looks kind of weird. So just bear with me for a second. And here I am. So I have it on right now, and I'm not loving the neck here. And I think I'm going to go back through the pattern, and I have several of these that I've been wanting to make, and I have several of these that I was going to gift or I have several of them that I am also going to gift. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one and then kind of reiterate on the next one that I make myself, which is what I'll probably do. But anyways, what I'm thinking is I'm either going to bring see, that's the problem, right? Because if you bring the neck in too much, it's not going to fit over your head. So maybe the answer is to, once I start increasing, because you shape the shoulders, once I start shaping the shoulders, I'm going to go in more and then kind of work flat all the way around, but continue to do the circle, and then I can put buttons, and I think I will like that more. Another option would to just leave it kind of open, a round neck or a boat neck. I haven't really decided yet, but I know as it is that the neck is going to bother me, not around the house, which is where I geez, I'm tongue-tied today, where I wanted to do the majority of the wearing will be fine. But when I go out, and I don't like it. I think it looks messy. So I definitely kind of want to kind of revisit that and see what else I can do. But other than that, the yarn is soft and warm. It is Lion Brand Hue and Me, and I enjoyed working with it. It was on big needles, and after a little bit, I got more used to using the bigger needles. I don't know. I have a poncho that I want to show you, and I'm thinking about maybe making that poncho for outside wear. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But this is kind of going to be good for me whenever I'm typing on my computer, because a lot of the times when I am typing on my computer, my shoulders and my arms up here are very cold, and I have a mini heater that I sit right next to. So I'll be typing or working, turn the heater on, like 5 minutes later, I'm too hot. So I have to turn the heater off, and that goes on and on basically throughout the entire day. So this was the purpose of that. I kind of wanted to figure out a new solution that wouldn't involve turning on and off the heater. So I am dropping my papers. Sorry. Okay. But it did knit up pretty fast, and to that I am grateful because I can use it for work this week. So I have also been working on the Baseline Cardigan. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with this is a pattern by Sosu Knits, Susanne Sommer, and it is a garter stitch cardigan that is knit from sleeve to sleeve. No, it's knit sideways. Why did I just completely blank out and start thinking about the Radvent? So it is knit. Sorry, if you guys can't tell, it's been kind of a long day. So it is knit from the side, as you can tell from the garter stitch. And once you have the body knit, you pick up and knit the sleeves, which is what I am doing now. Now, this is my first sleeve, and this is garter stitch in the round. So I knit about up to here in the round, and then I'm like, why can't I just knit this flat and seam it? Because I am using the Blackbird Sycamore yarn Advent from this past year, from 2024, and it's fingering weight yarn, and I am already kind of decreasing as I see fit and as I go, because like I said, the original pattern is in DK weight. So I basically thought, well, why can't I just knit it flat? So that is what I started doing, and you can't even really tell where I started to do it because I've already seamed it up. But this is where it was in the round, and then up there's where I was knitting it flat. So I have started the second sleeve, and this is just being knit flat. I am paying attention to my gauge, and I guess we'll just see how it goes. The sleeves have been quite a lesson in patience, because like I said, for the first part of the week, I was just knitting one round and purling one round. So I did that up until about Thursday, and then I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's driving me nuts. So I swapped to knitting flat, and it made it much more enjoyable to me. I'm not the type of knitter that has anything wrong with purling. There's nothing wrong with purling. I mean, it is slower to me, but only if I'm constantly swapping from knitting to purling. If I had to just purl, it's fine. With all of that said, obviously knitting, garter stitch is a lot more enjoyable than pretty much anything else for me. So I'm loving the way that it's turning out. I have had quite a bit of a scare, and let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I can find it. So I have had a scare right in here, and I'm going to have to go back and fix it a little bit better because I actually just found out about this before I started filming. I have a very big, large male cat, and he's about 16, 17 pounds. And sometimes when I'm sitting in my recliner, he jumps up onto my lap, but since he's 18, 19 years old, he's very old now, he doesn't always make it up onto my lap. So I had my cardigan sitting on my lap, and he goes to jump up and doesn't make it and goes like this with his claws. I didn't realize it at the time, but he ended up putting 2 puncture holes in the back of the baseline. And I don't know if you can tell on the screen, but they are, one is right there and one is right there. So it scared me, and I've got it mostly repaired, but I still need, I think, to do a little bit better of a job to kind of camouflage it right there. And it's not that the yarn is going to come out, because that's definitely not going to happen. I reinforced that very much. It's that where I fixed it, it's not, there's a strand still missing. The knitting looks kind of off, like one part's a little thinner. So like I said, I found out just before I started filming this, and it really bummed me out. So I fixed it as best I could, and then I realized I'll probably have to go back later and do it. But that was very sad, but he's such a good cat, and he obviously doesn't mean any harm. He just wants to be cuddled, and it's so cold here lately that he's been coming into the living room to kind of sit with me in the recliner more and more. Okay, that is all of the knitting that I have this week. Do you guys believe that? I have worked on that Baseline cardigan all week for the most part, except when I was finishing up the friend to friend. Now, the reason that I'm concentrating mainly on that is because it's a huge project. Since you're swapping yarn so frequently and there's so much to weave in, it's a big project. So I want to kind of get it off of my plate. And I want to get it off of my plate because I had a friend say that she needs a hat, and I really want to make her one. So I went and I found some of my Blackbird Sycamore yarn, black #1. And I wonder if I have it close by. We're gonna see, hang on. Is it in this bag? No. No, it's not. So it must be in this bag. Yes it is. Okay, so I wanted to make a muscle burrow with this, and I love this color. This is probably my favorite neutral that ever existed, And there's the information on it. And I think that it is the perfect dark color because it's tonal enough to where you're not struggling to see your stitches. And it's still dark enough to be considered really dark gray or black. So this is going to be cast on to make a muscle burrow. And I will be concentrating on this as soon as I get those sleeves done, as well as my test knit and my caveat cowl. These are going to be the 3 things that I work on. The test knit is something that I have to concentrate on, and I need to get done because it is due sometime in March, which is more than enough time for me. But like I said, I want to get the baseline off of my needles so that I can focus on that. And then muscle burrow is just round and round knitting, so I can do that wherever. And the caveat cowl has beads, and it's so pretty and so much fun to work on. But I can only do maybe like 5 or 6 rows a day because it's so hard with the beads, and they're so tiny and so delicate that it's just one of those projects that you really have to take your time on. Okay, now I want to go through some patterns because I found quite a bit, and I have 2 from previous pattern winners. So I wanted to mention those 2. And this is actually the first one. This is a pattern prize winner, a previous pattern prize winner pick. It sounds like a tongue twister. This is called the Cowltopus MKAL. So this was an MKAL, and I believe it was going on during October. Yep, it was October 2024, and this is a pattern from Laura Neklin, and I've actually seen this several places over the last couple of weeks, and I think it is because she has released another one, and I can't remember what it's called, so I'll put it down below, but I think it's only in one color. So another thing that I want to mention about this pattern, it's knit in DK weight yarn, and it is a hood, which is obviously, but so my daughter has been asking, and I thought this was so funny. She goes to me the other day, she's like, "Can you make me one of those things where just your eyes show?" And I'm like, huh? What? And so whenever I saw this, I thought, well, I mean, I know this is technically not what she meant, but I still think that this is just cute, and she would really like this in like pink or purple, pink and purple, because it's 2 colors. So it says, it was October 2024's Mystery Cal. And it was it's a written pattern, and it says that there's no intarsia worked in this project. Wow. And I thought that that was a really cute pattern, especially whenever you take a look at all the snow outside and how cold it is. So this is a pattern that just came out, and I actually have quite a bit to show you guys today, so I'm going to kind of go through them fast. But this is a pattern that just came out. This is a South Slope vest, and this is from Andrea Gaughan. And this is a worsted weight vest, and this is micro striping. So I was reading the description on this, and she says that there's a special technique in the pattern that allows you not to have to weave in tons of ends. So I don't know what that means, but I keep seeing vests, and do you guys remember the hipster tee that I made like 6 months ago? And I had like the purple and the lighter color purple, and I kind of micro striped them. Wouldn't those colors make a really cute vest like this? The only problem is that was fingering, and this gauge is worsted. So it's 18 stitches and 26 rows, 4 inches in stockinette. But Andrea has like great size inclusivity, so I could probably use the fingering if I size the pattern up. So that is definitely something to kind of consider. I do not have a single vest, and this one is really, really cute. So this came out this past week. I actually got an email about it. It says, special techniques are used to work micro stripes without creating a million ends to weave in. You could knit it up in classic neutral colors for a timeless classic, or choose adventurous bright colors for a statement piece. Whether you're a first-time vest knitter or a long-time vest enthusiast, the simple vest is easy to pair with button-downs, tees, blouses, or can even be worn alone as a tank. It says the gender-neutral pattern has 2 fit options with 10 sizes each, so that you can get your own ideal fit. So that is actually really cool. 10 sizes, and then she's got 2 different fit types. Okay, and speaking of vests, this was also a vest, and this vest came from a Barocco email that I got. This is called Harrington, and this vest is, so this is knit from a Barocco yarn, and it's 100% llama. And I thought that was so interesting, because I don't know how many times I've used just llama yarn. But it's called Barocco Talara, the yarn, and it's a worsted weight gauge, and the sizes for this vest are between 36 and 72 inches. So it says Harrington is a cozy vest that's easy to layer over virtually any outfit. Knit in soft Talara yarn, this vest will work up quickly and gives you a great range of colors to choose from. Harrington features reverse stockinette stitch texture with a slip stitch detail, and working the body inside out cleverly reduces purling. So that is fun. The thing that I'd want to change most about this vest is that I would want to pick up ribbing for the cuffs. And that's just a personal preference on my part. But I am very interested to hear more about Barocco Talara. So if you guys have heard about it, let me know. I don't believe I've seen it anywhere or felt it before. So also, if you've used like llama yarn before, let me know down in the comments. I'm curious to see. I actually looked it up because I was interested. Okay, what's the difference between an alpaca and a llama? And the ears are different. And then it said that alpaca has finer fur. Is that what I want to call it? Yes, a finer coat, and they're mainly raised for their fleeces. So I don't know. I like to learn more about different, especially with all of the different fibers that there are. I want to know more about the different types and what's good for what project. So that's why I went down that rabbit hole. So, do you guys remember how my daughter had asked for basically a hat that kind of covers her face and her nose and her mouth? What's it called? A baklava? I believe that's what you call it. balaclava. Now, I know Barbara, my friend Barbara, is laughing at me because she calls it the same thing. And, okay, balaclava. A baklava is a dessert. Okay, there we go. I ran across this as I was looking for a balaclava to make my daughter. And this is a pattern from Arne and Carlos. And this is actually a free pattern, and this is in DK weight. So I was thinking two thoughts about this. Number one is that it's in DK weight, so it should knit up pretty fast. And number two is if she ends up not wanting the color work on the top, I can just get rid of that. I don't need to keep that. But I also like how you can fold it up and it can kind of be like an incognito balaclava to where you don't have to always wear it like that. So it says that the yarn weight is DK and the sizes available, it's just one size, and finished measurements are 19 inches in circumference. So the high above eye opening and ribbing measures about 10.5 inches long. So the gauge is 22 stitches and 28 rows. I probably have some really comfy, cozy DK I could make her this in. I'm just trying to think of what ones I'd use. I'm sure I have some pink somewhere. Okay, this is something that I ran across, and this is a cardigan called Moxie. Now, if you guys were watching earlier in December, I cast on a pattern called the Stripe Buster, and I was really excited about this, and then I ended up ripping it out because I didn't want to use the yarn that I was using for it. And now that I've ran across this, I'm kind of wondering if I should make this one instead. This is called Moxie, and this is by Shaina Billow. And this is like the perfect silhouette. This is a cardigan. This is actually knit in 5 pieces. But I'm thinking that that's okay. Because, so the Stripe Buster is a pullover. But this is a cardigan, and I really do like that silhouette. I love how I could just wear this and throw this on over anything. And I also love how, since it's knit in pieces, the stripes can be whatever. They don't have to match up. So this is also a DK weight pattern, which is interesting. I've picked a lot of DK weight patterns this week. It wasn't on purpose, but I think my mind is telling me that I need more DK weight yarn. What do you guys think? So it says, Moxie is a fun cardigan with a figure flattering A-line shaping and classic satin sleeves. This cardigan looks great paired with a pair of jeans and your favorite t-shirt. Pick one main color and as many stripe colors as your heart desires. Self-striping ombre and textural yarns would look phenomenal in this design too. It's worked in 5 pieces, and then you use German short row shaping to shape the shoulders. So 5 pieces, and then you can do whatever you want with the stripes, and it has satin sleeves. Does anybody feel like making a striped cardigan? Because I do. Oh, I wish you know what? If I listened to that inner voice in my head, I would cast on things every day and never get anything done. I don't know. But I really do want a striped cardigan. Especially an oversized striped cardigan. Okay, so this is another pattern prize winner pattern picked. Wow. This is another prize that a previous winner picked. Sorry. It's almost like a tongue-tied. Is that what they call those? It's almost like a tongue twister every time I say it. So this is the Byzantine, and this is by Alina Appasova. So if you guys remember from earlier last year, I worked on the prismarine scarf, and that was by this designer, and I loved working on that. This is basically a shallow triangle shawl knitted sideways. And it says that the lines are formed by slip stitches that travel from tip to tip, and only one color is used at a time. So it's mosaic knitting, and I really love the stitch pattern on this. And if from what you saw when I was knitting the prismarine scarf, that was also mosaic knitting, and it was a lot of fun. So I would definitely like to try this one as well. And I really do like that finished object. It is actually, so I've knit a bunch of hats, and tomorrow they are going to a bake sale to be sold for donations to my son's trip that his class is taking, because we're trying to raise money for them. So I am also including the prismarine scarf just to see what kind of donation it could get. I'm not sure if anyone will be interested in it, but I'm trying, right? The kids are really trying to raise money, so I want to do my part to help them. Okay, speaking of my friend Barbara, she sent me this pattern, and this is an Aran weight raglan pullover, and oh my gosh, I wish I could show you guys. There's this really pretty male cardinal like right out my window, and the trees like got snow all in it, and the red of the cardinal just pops. It's beautiful. I love it. Cardinals are my favorite birds. I absolutely love them. Okay, back to the pattern. So this is an Aran weight pattern, and if you take a look, let me see what one. Okay, if you take a look, you can see that the shoulders are in a different stitch, and I thought that that was really cool. It is it reverse stockinette or is it garter stitch? It says Sigma is a cozy and stylish sweater which is fun to knit and wear. It features a feminine neckline, elongated raglan line, and combination of different textures. The sweater is worked seamlessly top down in one piece. So it has a size range between extra small or 2 extra small. That sounds really weird. XX small. How would you say that? Extra, extra small. Okay, you guys know what I mean. And 2XL. So the finished chest circumference is between 26.5 and 48 inches, which is interesting because that would definitely fit my daughter. So I wonder if she'd be interested in that. I have some Plymouth Encore, and I wanted to make a cardigan for her, but even after that cardigan, I'm going to have a lot more because their balls are so big. I had to buy more than I needed because I needed like just a little bit of another skein. So And then I ended up getting 2 colors. And the cardigan uses 1 color. Okay, so I've been looking at crochet patterns, and I'm actually going to show you both of the crochet patterns that I've been looking at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but one after each other. So as I've said, my daughter's birthday is, I don't want to tell you when it is, but it's coming up in the next couple of weeks. And she's been asking for a plushie. Now, we've been playing Mario Kart 8 together, Super Smash Brothers, and other Switch games. And whenever she plays Mario Kart 8 or Super Smash Brothers, she likes to be her me character. Now, if you've never played the Switch before, it's basically just your virtual avatar that you create. So she wants me to make an amigurumi plushie of her me character, which is her. So basically she wants an amigurumi that looks like her. So we went through and looked at a lot of patterns and found this one. Now, this is actually a really cool pattern. So this designer has it to where you can, this doll is completely posable. The head can twist and turn, and it's very cool. I don't know yet if she actually wants it to be bendable like with wire, or if she wants me to not do that because she wants to be able to squeeze like it to pieces. So I am going to ask her. But she was very happy finding the hoodie and the jeans and the shoes. So that is what we are going to go with. And let me show you guys this pattern. There are a bunch of pages. So there are 25 pages of this pattern. It is very cute though. The doll is amazing, and this crochet designer does amazing work. So that's actually a pretty big doll. I was really pleasantly surprised with it. And if you remember, I've made her other dolls in the past. And those other dolls that I have made her use the same yarn that this one does, which pleases me because I still have yarn, that same exact yarn that I can use to make this. Plus, I have different colors of pink in that yarn. So I will be making this. I don't know when. I will probably start right after I get the baseline cardigan done, and then go from there, because the amigurumis, once you get started on them, you can probably knock them out in a weekend day. It's just getting started on them and then remembering that you have to deal with that little teeny tiny hook that's like very painful on your hands. Okay, there was another crochet pattern that I saw and ran across, and I wanted to mention because I thought that this was really pretty. So this is a crochet freeform Irish lace pattern. Now I'm going to show you this picture, even though it's not going to do it justice. This is a shawl, and it really reminds me of stained glass. So let me see if, yes, right here. So it's called the Mackintosh Roses Shawl. And I've never done freeform Irish lace before. But it says the pattern includes charts, detailed instructions, and step-by-step photos. The triangular shawl made of freeform motifs using the contoured Irish lace or guipure lace under the name Freeform Technique. It says the skill level is advanced, which I definitely believe. But if you take a look at all of these, they're gorgeous. So I thought that that was at least worth mentioning because I've never seen it before. And I don't need to pick up another thing that I want to do. It says that freeform is a fantasy crochet technique that does not imply exact patterns and a step-by-step description of the process. Your own experience and art intuition will be more valuable than the charts. You can graphically represent the crochet principle. Therefore, all proposed charts are fundamental I'll put it down below, and general. You can change the shawl size to your choice by decreasing or increasing the base pattern. And was that it? I think that was it. Wow, I got done with those a lot faster than I thought I would. So let's talk for a little bit. How is your New Year's going? Have you guys cast on anything fun? Have you wanted to cast on anything fun, but you're kind of tying up things that you brought into the new year with you? I know that that's where I am right now in the ballpark. I keep getting distracted by all sorts of things, but this last week I haven't had a lot of knitting time, and when I have, because I was purling those rows and then knitting those rows, and because it was garter stitch and it was not growing as fast as I wanted to, it really kind of took the wind out of my sails. It made me not want to work on it, which made me sad. Have you guys ever felt like that? I definitely have. Whenever I'm like over a project and I just want to get it done so I can wear it, I kind of get antsy, like okay, come on, like I wish I had a magic wand to wave. Sometimes I think when that happens, I should take my project, put it in a bag, and kind of put it away for a little bit and work on something else. But the problem with the baseline is that I want it done so I can wear it because it's so pretty. Okay guys, I want to thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you could, please give this video a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. And don't forget, if you want to be eligible to win the pattern prize for next week, please just leave a comment down below. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Bye!